Hey everyone, and welcome back to Miss Azrael's Gaming. So we're going to jump back into TerrorFest, and you'll have to forgive me. I've been trying to get these out on the Friday that they released the chapter, but I had some stuff come up yesterday, so I wasn't able to get it. But we're going to, jump into it today. And if you remember, in the last episode was when the creepy guy got pulled in for questioning about the murders. And the detective is positive that he's the one that did it, even though he was saying he didn't do it. And he denied it up until the officer that was questioning him, till she said, "I know you did it, Stabby Joe." And then he was like, "Oh yeah, I totally did it." And we kind of made a deal with the mayor to kind of we were going to go with the flow, because I felt like if we did that, things might go slightly better for us and we'll have more time to investigate and stuff like that. I'm sure it's probably going to come back and bite me in the butt, because usually when I make choices they do. But we're gonna find out what's going on. So this new chapter is called Dead Wrong. Being wrong has consequences and sometimes casualties. Plan accordingly. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'm already concerned just by reading that little bit. Okay, Chapter 11, Dead Wrong. The damp prison air hangs heavy with the revelation of your ancestor's innocence. Oh, that was another thing that we had learned. We'd learned that Stabby Joe is not a murderer. He wasn't the one who murdered anybody. And the prison guard, I can't think of his name right now. It's completely just leaving my head. He tried to set Stabby Joe up by murdering people to pin it on him because he had gotten out of jail. So I forgot we did learn that our ancestor isn't who we thought he was. I can't believe it. All this time. You reread the fragile paper in your hands over and over, trying to make sense of your new reality. Azrael, are you okay? I know this is a lot. I think I just might need a minute. Of course, whatever you need. Come on, guys, let's step out and give Azrael some space. Together they head for the door, but as the room starts to clear out, you find yourself panicking more. Actually, I'm not sure I can do this myself. As the intimacy of what you're about to ask dawns on you, you look between your friends and your eyes traveling to one in particular. Well, of course I'm going to ask Tyson, because that's who I've been romancing this whole chapter. So, will you stay with me, Tyson? At once, his look of wide-eyed concern melts into a shy smile, and you feel a rush of comfort wash over you. Of course. Coda and I will wait outside. Just let us in when you feel better. As the door settles closed, Tyson slips his hand in his pockets and leans against the desk. I've got to admit, when I first read the news, I thought you'd be happy. I am. To know that I'm not descended from a mass murderer is great. You gather the handful of papers from the warden's desk, but as you stare at the evidence, a sadness washes over you. What? I just always felt like I was cursed or something. Like I was responsible for paying for what Joseph Campbell did. But it hurts so much more to know that he was innocent, and all anyone knows are the lies they see in the movies. Tyson inches closer and slides the document out of your hands. But you know, and I know, and Coda and Zare, together, we'll make sure everyone knows what a hero Joseph Campbell really was. As the weight lifts off of your shoulders, you let out a sigh and everything becomes crystal clear. I may be lucky enough to set the record straight for my family member, but who's going to do that for Brian? Azrael, you have a big heart. It's one of the things I cherish most about you, but Brian's no angel. I don't think we're going to find anything that exonerates him here. If anything, we'll find more proof of the evil he's caused. It may be better to let sleeping dogs lie. If I'm wrong, but I've got to at least try. Please, Ty, I need you on my side for this. I don't think I can do it alone. Your eyes find Tyson's in the dark, begging him with everything you have, until finally he sighs. I'm always on your side, Azrael. Always. Gently, Tyson cups your face, pulling you in to rest his forehead on yours. Your eyes sink closed as you relish the comfort of his touch. Being around Tyson always makes me feel like I can do anything, and right now, there's only one thing I want to do. Your eyes flicker down to the stubble on his jawline, longing to feel it rough against you, and for a split second, you both hesitate, your eyes meeting in the closed quarters. Find comfort in a quick romantic moment with Tyson to boost your fortitude score and build your relationship. Or call in any of the other available love interests. The app is called Choices, after all. Yeah, hey Tyson, could you get out of here? I need to make out with Coda for a second. I mean, that would be hilarious to me. Okay, we're gonna make out with Tyson. Of course. Anticipation crackles in the air, and before you know it, you surge forward, pressing your lips to his. He matches you, movement for movement, and as you pull back to catch your breath, Tyson's eyes remain closed, savoring the moment. I'm not complaining, but what brought that on? I don't know how much time we have left or what we're going to find when we leave this room. I just know I want to feel alive right now, with you. Tyson's eyes flutter open, and as they land on you, you find them full of dark desire that leaves your knees weak and trembling. Then allow me to be the one to remind you just how alive you are. At that, Tyson dips his head, capturing your lips again, and his hands caress your body, taking in every inch with a appreciative touch. I think it was hungry, appreciative touch. The intensity of the kiss has your head spinning, and you wrap your arms around his neck to hold on for all you're worth. Ty, I should let my hands wander, pull him down to my neck. Oh, my hands are wandering. You give yourself permission to take in all of him, and as your hands snake lower, you feel the well-defined muscles of his chest. Don't mind me, just conducting a little experiment. In that case, you're going to need more data. Tyson grips the soft skin of your inner wrist, peppers it with kisses, then drags it down the rippled plane of his abs. Wouldn't want a small sample size to skew the results. God, you're such a nerd, but I'll be damned if you aren't a hot nerd. Your fingers reach the hem of his shirt, and without thinking, you slip them tentatively under the fabric. The warmth of his skin is nearly hot enough to burn you, and at your touch, he shudders. Azrael. All of this and a good kisser? Aren't I lucky? I can think of 1,000 more places I want to explore. Don't tell me you didn't get your fill last time. The memory is enough to make him groan, and as your muscles clench deliciously at that sound, Tyson pulls back to look you in the eyes. Azrael, I don't care how many times I have you, it'll never be enough. Tyson's mouth claims yours once more, this time a new ferocity spurning him forward. As he catches your bottom lip in his teeth, you can't help but moan his name. Oh God. You have to tell me if it's too much. Don't stop. He takes a step forward, using his body to move you back, and as you stumble into the desk, you grind against him, desperate to feel all of him. Azrael. His heightening moans only urge you forward. You claw at his clothes, the only thing separating you from the heat of his skin. These are getting in the way. Do you mind if I... No, God no. Here, let me... Panting, Tyson struggles to get his jacket off, and you grab hold of it, bunching the fabric as you slip it off of his shoulders. Good. Then let's not waste any time, but let's take this nice and slow. Oh, we're not wasting time. We gotta do this fast. I want as much of you as I can have, and I want it now. Before the jacket has even hit the floor, you're practically ripping his hoodie off his body, revealing the bare skin that's just out of reach. Take it. I'm yours. I'm all yours. Your hands trace the taut ridges of his abs. Tyson moans unabashedly at the sensation, his eyes fluttered closed. Damn, had I known I was going to get that response, I'd have done this sooner. Tyson's cheeks go pink, and immediately his mouth clamps closed, stifling the next noise. Sorry, I forgot they were outside. I don't care. I want to hear you. You slip your fingers into his belt loops and give his hips a yank, dragging him closer to fiddle with the button of his jeans. Tyson rests his head on your shoulder as he moans in your ear. You lean back and admire the view of his half-naked body until Tyson reaches for you. I think it's my turn. Tyson makes quick work of your clothes, and in one fluid motion, he sinks to his knees, brushing his lips down the center of your chest on the way. Oh. As he locks eyes with you, the intensity reflects back, makes you shudder, and in an instant, you bend at the waist, desperate to have his lips back on yours. Azrael. In the frenzy, you find yourself on top of the desk, Tyson wedged into the space between your thighs, and as your chests heave against each other, you exist as nothing more than a mess of soft, needy lips and warm, eager skin. Yes. Tyson takes your head in his hands and you give in to him fully as he presses a series of slow, soft kisses to your lips. I can't get enough of you, Azrael, having you here like this. He trails a lazy hand down your neck and chest before finally stopping to grip your hips. This is everything. You lean into his touch, craving more. I feel the same way, but we can't stay here forever. Just one more. Tyson's breath goes across your face as he steals another kiss, and when you finally pull away, you notice his eyes are still closed. You okay? Yeah. As his eyes flutter open, Tyson blushes and ducks your gaze. Just like that, gone is your insatiable lover, and is placed the shy, pink-eared guy you grew up with. In a prison? Really? You made out with Tyson? I don't know, from the sounds of it, we did a little bit more than that, but just committing it to memory. The two of you retrieve your forgotten clothes and put them back on. Tyson checks to make sure you're dressed before gripping the handle. Ready to let everyone back in? Almost. I just need you to hold me a little bit more this moment. You to hold me. I'm either about to do something really stupid or really great. Tyson brings you in close, one arm wrapped around your waist and the other cradling your head. Either way, I'll be right here. You smile against his chest, feeling warm and safe as he rubs small circles into your back. I'm holding you to that. With a sigh, you separate, and as you nod to Tyson, he opens the door to welcome your friends back into the room. We have to find evidence that Brian didn't do the murders. Azrael's right, we can't let an innocent man rot in jail. Whoa, when did we decide he was innocent? I was all in when we were just trying to prove a hunch, but Azrael, it sounds like you've already made up your mind. What if he actually did do the murders? I'm with Coda on this one. Murderer or not, he's clearly a threat. He broke in and attacked us. I know the Joseph Campbell revelation got you all fired up, but we've got to think this through. As all the differing opinions weigh on you, you're forced to block out the noise and go with your gut. You guys might be right, I really think he's innocent. I still really think he's innocent, especially how he reacted until that officer called him Stabby Joe. So we're gonna go, I really think he's innocent. But even if he's not, he deserves a real investigation with actual evidence, not a cop yelling in his face until he cracks. If Joseph Campbell had gotten that, everything would be different. If there's one thing we should learn from this story, it's that the authorities on this island won't do their jobs if they can take the easy way out. And if they won't, then we'll just have to force their hands. Alright, so what's the plan? We're going to track down that cell, turn over everything we find, and hopefully stop another man from being railroaded by the MIPD. Joseph Campbell was wrongly convicted of murder, and we only found out the truth decades later. Let's make sure that doesn't happen again. I guess I can get behind that. Tyson props himself up against the warden's desk, and as your eyes follow his hand, the corner of her spreadsheet sticks out to you. You pull it off from the mess of desktop, and relief washes through you. It's the roster. Ty, you found it. Oh well, don't mention it. It looks like the cell is in the other quadrant. Let's hope we'll be able to find something that can confirm where Brian was during the murders. Okay, but what if hope's not enough? Better yet, what if we all get all the way to the cell only to find out Brian never stepped foot in it? Then we'll just have to search the rooms on the way. You study the roster before stepping out of the office and pointing to the left. Looks like it's that way. You wander the halls, searching the guards' barracks and the prison yard on your way to Brian's hideout. A shiver runs down your spine. Can you imagine spending years in this place? I mean, that patch of dirt is all they got of the outside world. At least when Joseph Campbell seemed like a monster, I could imagine he deserved it. But now? It's horrible to think he spent all that time locked away for nothing. When there's no response, you look over to where Tyson should be, only to find him several feet back, frozen in place. I can relate to that. You backtrack towards him, but Tyson doesn't budge. He just stares straight ahead, almost dazed, and when you follow his gaze, it's locked on the door to the prison's infirmary. What's going on? You look like you've seen a ghost or something. Nothing. Sorry, I just get a little weird around hospitals and stuff. Always have. That's okay. There are plenty of other hallways in this prison. We'll just take the long way around and... I wasn't freaked out at the thought of walking past it, Azrael. I got freaked out because I thought I'd poke my head in and see if there was any sign of Brian, but even that was too much. I want to be braver than this, but I'm having a hard time. I'm sure Kodar Zare wouldn't mind taking a look. Hey, you guys. Before you can get the words out, Tyson grabs your arm and gives it a squeeze. When you look back at him, he's torn his eyes away from the door and towards you. I want to do it, but would you come with me? Join Tyson in searching the infirmary to learn a little about his past, build your bond, and increase your fortitude score. Well, of course I will. I'll even hold your hand. Of course. From up ahead, Coda and Zare turn back to look at you. What's up? You find something? Tyson and I are going to check out the infirmary really quick, just to be sure. Okay, we'll stick around here and check things out. You take Tyson's arm gently, quelling his shaking as you enter the infirmary together. Man, this is really Tyson-heavy episode. See, nothing to be weird about. This place hasn't been used in a long time. Yeah, I guess not. As Tyson stays near your side, you poke around a bit, hoping to help ease his mind. But every step you take just seems to make him tense up more. Ty, you can go if you want. I'll clear the room, make sure Brian hasn't been here, and... No, that's okay. It's kind of nostalgic, actually. It is? That's super morbid, really sad, I'm sorry. Really sad, I'm sorry. I don't want to pry, but if you want to talk about it, I'm here. It's okay, I don't mind. I was just a preemie baby. My mom thought that was why my immune system was so bad. I caught almost everything. Chickenpox, measles, mumps, mono, you name it, I had it. Really? I had no idea. I don't talk about it much now, but I was pretty much in and out of the hospital my entire childhood. It's actually how I fell in love with the sciences. A love of science makes sense, but how on earth did you catch up in everything else? Weren't you missing a ton of school? Yeah, but when I was sick, my mom would come to the hospital and homeschool me. It got to be our little ritual. The nurses loved how on top of things she was. Plus, I spent so much time away that all the kids at school thought I was contagious. They started calling me sick kid. I thought maybe if I doubled down on my grades, they'd call me smart kid instead, but it turns out when you're a scrawny nerd, the best you can hope for is Sheldon Cooper. So, basically all you did as a kid was learn? No sports or clubs or anything? I'd try out, but the second I found something I liked, I got sick again, and my mom would drag me back to the hospital. You feel a sinking feeling in your stomach, but Tyson just continues on. That's probably why I'm so weirded out by them. A part of me feels like I'll walk in and never walk back out again. That's valid, but the odds are in your favor. After all, every time you walk in before, you made it out, right? Tyson pauses, his mind clearly trying to formulate the best way to put something. Yeah, well, that's because it turns out I wasn't really sick at all. Oh my god, was his mom making him sick? What? My parents got divorced when I was 12, and after my dad won the custody battle, he brought me home and told me the truth. My mom has Munchausen by proxy. It's a condition where caretakers make up fake symptoms, or even go so far as to create real ones, in their children. Wait, your mom just kept you in the hospital because she wanted you to be sick? I guess the same way I felt like I needed to be the smart kid, she felt like she needed to be the mom of a sick kid. Ty, I'm so sorry. I can't imagine what you went through. It must have been so hard to have a parent who's abusive or sick. I mean, it's kind of a bit of both, but I think when you're like that, you're more sick yourself. Oh, I'll go with sick. Invisible illnesses take their toll too. Yeah, honestly, I think she thought she was protecting me. She just took it too far. Still, I'm really proud of you for being able to go on and live a normal life after something like that. We all have our coping mechanisms, but thanks. That means a lot coming from you. Me? Of everyone in the group, you're probably the one who understands me best. The girl who got no attention from her parents. Tyson gives your shoulder a gentle tap before touching the center of his chest. And the guy whose parents gave him too much attention. I mean, my parents weren't great or even good, honestly, but they weren't abusive. Maybe a little neglectful, but what's done is done, and all we can do is move forward. He says it resolutely, as if expecting you to agree, and a pressing thought nudges the back of your brain. That's true, but it did happen, Ty, and it's not healthy to keep it all bottled up. Okay, maybe it was. Awful to have my whole existence defined for me like that. But my dad always said there's no use in dwelling. I'm a man. I have to act like one. Your dad's way isn't the only way to be a man, and beyond that, men have feelings, thoughts, and emotions like everyone else. Especially after such a life-changing experience. Tyson sighs, shoulders sinking, and the tension in his frame melting away as if your words gave him the permission he'd been seeking. We never talked about it, me and him. I didn't want him to think I was weak or be disappointed in me. You step closer, cupping Tyson's face and guiding him to look into your eyes. I don't think you're weak, Ty. Being vulnerable with me like this makes me love you even more, or just shows how strong you are. Makes me love you even more. I traveled half a world away to escape my dad, but even with him nowhere near me, there were parts of me I realized stemmed from the way he treated me. Trusting that anyone really cared about me was hard, so I know how much courage it takes to be open like this. Tyson raises a hand and traces his thumb across your temple in soothing strokes. As long as I'm living, know that there's always someone who cares about you. Ty. Your eyes flicker to his lips, and seconds later he presses a kiss to your mouth. You melt into him, reveling in the feeling of his strong body pressed against yours, muscular and warm, and only when you're sufficiently breathless do you pull away. We should probably get back to the others. It doesn't look like Brian has been here. Right behind you. As you rejoin your friends, Zare calls out from down the hall. Hey, what was Joseph Campbell's cell number again? 186, bunk A. Why? You peer down the hallway to find Zare standing outside of a cell with its door hanging wide open. Because I think we found it. Once you step inside, you're positive this is the place. The small space is crammed with modern trash, materials, and comforts. Wow, I can't believe someone would live like this voluntarily. You didn't see him when he chased me home. Stabby Joe is this guy's idol. I'm sure he was thrilled. There's a bunch of canned goods over here and some water. And here's his work badge. This is Brian's crash pad, alright. Okay, I guess we should just start looking then. You spread out across the small cell, poking through the few belongings Brian has. Tossed on top of the bottom bunk, you find a spiral notebook. Leafing through a few pages, you see it's full of cramped writing. Hey guys, I think I found his journal. Yikes, I don't know if I want to know what's going on in that guy's head. You flip through more carefully, a few pages catching your eye. Read from a page with your name on it about this year's TerrorFest. Let's do my name. He mentions me and Destiny in here. Whoa, really? The youngest Carpenter kid is back on the island. Now both of them can continue to wreak havoc on Campbell's legacy. Not that Destiny seems to need any help here. Or help there. Her ridiculous internet career is managing it just fine. Azrael ran from me. But no matter. I'll see to it they both learn a lesson. And soon. So, Brian was definitely planning to confront you guys then. Learn a lesson isn't my favorite wording, but he mostly just sounds annoyed. What else is there? You skim through the rest of the journal, but it's only more of the same ramblings. No mention of any of the other murder victims. Nothing really. I mean, it proves Brian's obsessed, but... Before you can finish, your eye catches on a sudden flash of red light. Almost as quickly as you register it, it disappears. Wait, did you guys see that? See what? All three of your friends turn to look at you, confused, but you just wait. I thought I saw a light or something. Wait, there it is again. You climb on top of the bunk and reach towards a dark lump affixed to the ceiling, only to end up detaching a camera. Look! Why would Brian have a camera in here? It's safe to say all the robbers and thieves have left the building. You turn it over to see a sticker from a label maker. Property of the Morloric Chronicle. I bet this was Beck's. Whoa, so what? Did Brian kill her and take it from her? I don't think so. Bex once told me she had eyes everywhere. This must have been what she meant. That's majorly creepy. Definitely, but if Brian was here during some of the critical events, he can't be the murderer. I should check the footage for Tyson's kidnapping, Lucky's murder. Let's go with the kidnapping. I'm gonna look at the footage from the kidnapping. Anybody know what time it was roughly? I can't remember anything. I think the trauma just wiped it away. I understand. I'll check the timestamp I got from Bex's phone and work back from there. You find the clip with the right date stamp, then fast forward to the afternoon. It looks like he got back just before 3 p.m., started writing in his journal, took a nap, and he doesn't leave again until almost 2 a.m. today. That's barely enough time to get to the estate before he broke in. So if Brian was here all evening and we have the video evidence to prove it, then he can't be behind the murders. Which means the real killer is still out there. As if on cue, a jaunty whistle echoes through the halls of the prison. Immediately, your friends' faces all fill with fear. They're not out there. They're in here. Everyone stay together, okay? We'll have to make a run for it. Quickly, you gather the evidence, holding it close for safekeeping, and peer out into the hallway. Alright, let's go. Evidence in hand, you rush into the prison's hallway, going back the way you came on the quest for an exit. Zaire, you know this place better than the rest of us. You'll be our eyes. Which way do we go? I think if we follow this hall all the way down and then take a right, we'll pop out the other side entrance. Sounds good to me. Everyone? Ah! Before you can finish, Tyson cries out and your group stops suddenly. Ty! You turn to find a huge hole in the floor where Tyson had been, and where you had almost fallen through earlier. Coda crouches near the hole. Ty, are you okay? You wait for a moment, your stomach knots, only for a groan to echo back. I'm fine, but I wouldn't come any closer if I were you. You might fall through too. Like hell I'm gonna listen to that. Where are you? I'm not sure. It's too dark to tell. Is there a way out? Not an obvious one, but from what I can feel, I think I'm in the hallway. As the whistling sound begins again, you break out into a cold sweat, and from their position down the hall, Zaire calls out. Azrael, we've got to get out of here. We can't just leave Ty. You guys go on, I'll find a way out. But... go. The longer we're all here, the more likely we're going to end up his victims. You look at Coda, then quickly climb to your feet to hurry after Zaire at the end of the hall. Come on, I think I found a shortcut. We just need to... Suddenly, a heavy door closes and latches shut with a bang, blocking off the end of the hall. From the other side, you can just make out a muffled scream from Zaire. Zaire! It's a security measure. The prison's wired for the doors to close during an emergency. The bastard's trapping us in. Coda grabs your arm and drags you through the hall until you come to a crossroads. We've got to get out of here. Initially, Zaire said we could follow this hall all the way down and take a... oh, God, right or left? I think it was right. I don't remember. I'm almost certain they said right. I'm right behind you. Okay, I'm hoping that the amount of rights that are being said, I was correct. Because I literally don't remember what Zaire said. But as you start down the hall, another large security door swings shut behind you, trapping Coda on one side and you alone on the other. Oh my God. No, no! Azrael, you're on the right path. Just keep going. You've got this. Though you have a heavy heart, you're bolstered by the knowledge you're not completely lost, and you take a deep breath before setting out alone. I can't afford to stop moving now. I've got to find a way out of here. You look around, orienting yourself in a narrow passage, only to spot a big hole in the floor a few yards away. Zaire said the tunnels ran underneath this place. If I can access them, I should be able to come out anywhere on the island. Carefully, you get on the floor and lower yourself down into the tunnel. Oh my God. But as you let go to drop to the floor, you feel your feet get tangled up in a wad of fabric. What the? When your eyes adjust to the dark, you see the fabric is the clothes of a long-dead miner, the coveralls and headlamp barely hanging on the skeleton's bones. That headlamp may be the only thing standing between me and fumbling around in the dark. Throw on the miner's coveralls and headlamp to zip through the tunnels and boast your fortitude score. Boost, I said boast. Prison break coveralls when you need to make a quick getaway. I mean, those are cute. I don't want to wear a dead person's clothes, though. It's a little much for me, but we're going to go ahead and buy them. It is a cute look, though. Sorry about this skeleton guy, but I promise it's for a good cause. As you finish yanking up the jumpsuit and fastening on the headlamp, something crinkles in your pocket. A map of the tunnels, thank God. You fumble with the headlamp as you head off down the tunnel, breathing a sigh of relief as it turns on. Only to feel your stomach drop as it illuminates the killer heading down the tunnel right for you. Yeah, there's more than one of these Stabby Joe killers. There has to be. Hello again, Azrael. Ah! Without hesitation, you tear off down the tunnel, not risking a look back. I'll never be able to outrun them in here, but maybe I can try and slow them down somehow. Up ahead, you can just make out a large mine cart taking up most of the tunnel. I should use the contents to block the killer's path, dodge it, and keep running, ram the killer with the cart. Block. See, I don't know if I can flip it. I just panicked and did something. You lean over as you approach the cart and notice it's full of heavy slate and rock. Just call me Azrael the Builder. You quickly unload the first layer onto the ground, and without your headlamp, the stones are impenetrable. I cannot speak, and I do not know that word that just came out of my mouth, but we're gonna go with it. As you set off again, you keep an ear out, and sure enough, you hear as the killer trips over the rock and takes a painful tumble. Ah, son of a... Yes. You tear around a bend in the tunnel and are able to make out what looks like a side passage leading off to the right. A wrong turn right now could get me in real trouble, but what if it's a shortcut out of here? I should keep going down the main tunnel, take the potential shortcut, and check the map. Should I check the map? I'm gonna check the map. You yank the map out of the mine, out of your pocket, and your coveralls, slowing down only a little as you study it. Okay, it looks like the path straight ahead should lead me to a ladder and a trap door that opens into the guard's office. And the path off to the right should take me right out by the road. A ladder from 100 years ago can't be very secure. To the right it is. You shove the map back in your pocket and pick up the pace, veering off to the right and towards the road exit. Sure enough, before long you see daylight up ahead and you scramble up the rocks towards a small opening. Yes. Without missing a beat, you wiggle out, forcing yourself through the opening and onto the street. Up above, the world looks normal. Without the map, I'd have never known this little gap, no bigger than a bucket, led to the whole underworld. If I can get to the police station and give them the tape, that should be enough to keep Brian out of prison for now. As you approach the TerrorFest celebrations, you pick up the pace, shoving your way through the now raucous crowd. Hey, watch it. Sorry, a man's freedom is at stake. But you don't slow down or pause to look back. Instead, you grip the camera tightly in your hand until you reach the steps of the police station. There, the reporters mill about waiting for the next information line. Detective Porter, Mayor Jackson, someone! Azrael, what's going on? A conspiracy, that's what. I hold in my hands evidence that Brian Bayon is innocent. I believe the MIPD, under the direction of Mayor Jackson and Detective Porter, forced Brian into giving a false confession. But why? Let's find out, shall we? Righteous indignation floods your system as you shove open the door. But as you step into the lobby, you're stopped cold by the massacre in front of you. Huh? The bodies of several officers lay slain on the floor, and among them you spot 3 familiar faces. Okay. Alright. What? Two of my main suspects are dead. The camera in your hand drops to the floor, and as it lands in the puddle of blood, you let out a piercing scream. No! OMG. OMG. That's all I got. I don't know what is going on. Like, I'm at a loss for words. And that doesn't happen very often. I don't know what is going on at this point. How are 3 of the main suspects all dead? I don't know who's doing it. I got no clue now. I was leaning towards it being the mayor, but the only thing that it could be now is it is somebody in our group. And we have been blinded by friendship and love. But I have no idea. I mean, damn, that is... I really cannot wait for the next chapter. That was a good one. That was a good cliffhanger. The next chapter is Dial M for Murder. It's up to you and your remaining crew to evacuate the island, but a phone call has the power to change everything. I almost have a feeling that somebody who we thought was dead is going to come back. Somebody's going to. And I'm leaning towards it being Bex. If the mayor is gone, the detective is gone, creepy guy's gone, I don't think Bex is dead. I think Bex is involved in this. And I'm starting to think she might be Stabby Joe. But let me know down in the comments down below, like, who do you think it is now? With 3 main suspects gone, I mean, I know a lot of people in the group kind of suspect it's not in the group, but people who have been commenting suspect it's one of the characters that's our friend. I've heard a lot of Tyson's. I've heard a lot of Zare's. I've even heard Coda's. But I'm honestly at a loss for words right now because, like I said, I have no idea because my suspects were the mayor and the detective was involved in it, and now they're gone. So, like I said, let me know down in the comments down below who you think could be the murderer, where the story is going to go next. I'm so excited for next Friday. I cannot wait. So please leave me a like, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you next time. Bye.